fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. Today I am here for another weekly WIP and chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for work in progress. This is my work in progress, and you are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you happen to be working on and work alongside. Or you can just listen while I chat. Either is good and always appreciated. So I'm going to be working on my Staroar winter tree kit, and I'm just going to jump right in. I have to say, so far, I'm actually really liking this canvas. The drills have been very nice quality and fit together really well. So I'm happy about that. So let me open up my little trash container, and what color do I want to start with? I will start with H. So I'm using the Staroar containers. So that's what I'm going to be working with. And I am just using my favorite little Bella tray and then just a pin I got off of Amazon. And of course, I'm still testing my, we have a handle on this tips. So let me just dive in here. It's been a week, guys. I'm trying to think, because of course, once again, I have jumped in here to start recording without a plan about what I'm going to talk about. So, who knows what journey my brain will take us on today. I have been trying to kind of work a little bit ahead, both in my YouTube and my diamond painting. Well, let's see. First of all, you guys, I was bad. So Diamond Art Club has been having all of these promotions and sales and discounts and everything to get people to buy. And I've been doing really well resisting. And then they had their, I think it was a 30% off sale. And I thought, okay, for 30% off, I have a couple that I've had my eye on. I might go back and look and see. Well, long story short, the 30% off sale was only on the new releases for that particular week, which I missed. So in going through and looking, I had picked out 4 different kits, one of which happened to be a new release for that week. But then a couple of other ones that I've had my eye on, and so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and get all of them. Well, then when I put in the discount code, the 30% off was only on the one that was on the new release. And I was like, well, I don't want to spend that much money right now. So then my husband came in and he was looking over my shoulder while I was shopping. And he's like, well, you have points. Why don't you use those? Now, I'm one of those weird people. When I get things like reward points and stuff like that, I hardly ever use them, which sounds crazy. I know. I do the same thing. You know how like when you play games on, I play them on my iPad, but you probably play them on Facebook or whatever, and you get, all these bonuses and stuff. I never use them. I just let them pile up and pile up and pile up. And I don't know why. I just do. So I was like, well, I don't really want to use my points. And he's like, well, what do you get? And so I was just kind of showing him around the Diamond Art Club website and showing him, where my points were and the different things that you could redeem it for. And apparently I got a little too click happy. And somehow, before I realized it, I had redeemed a bunch of my points for dollars off. And once you redeem them, just FYI, there's no way to unredeem them. So at that point, I was like, well, so I can either, let the unredeemed points still sit there, or I can go ahead and use that money for, the points for the money off and get the kits that I wanted. And it saved me about half of what I had been intending to spend. So, well, I guess I wasn't intending to spend it, but it saved me about half of what I would have spent if I had ordered them without points. So he twisted my arm and talked me into it. And so I ended up with 4 new Diamond Art Club diamond painting kits. Now, I justified that to myself because, one, when I went back and looked, I hadn't bought any new kits at all since the middle of last month. So it had literally been almost a month since I had purchased any diamond painting kits, which probably sounds crazy to a lot of people because lots of you probably go longer than a month in between. But that's the way I've been going. And I hadn't actually intended to set out for it to be that long in between. It just worked out that way. Luckily for me, Diamond Art Club had not had a lot of new releases that I just really felt I couldn't live without. So I hadn't bought anything from them. And while I would love to buy from Craftably again, they haven't had anything new that I just felt I couldn't live without. And same with Dreamer Designs. So at that point, I was just like, and Treasure Studios art, with the way shipping is and everything right now, who knows how long that would take to get to me. So those were kind of a no-go as well. So, and I have plenty of diamond paintings here to work on. So I just thought, whatever. So anyway, I ended up buying the 4 of those. They have arrived. So I have added them to my stash. And then my husband was laughing at me, one, because I accidentally redeemed my points without realizing that's what I was doing. And I mean, he would have been fine if I'd have spent the money, even without the points, to buy the kits. He doesn't care. But then he was laughing at me because after they arrived, I was like, okay, let me just go through and count up how many kits I actually have. Because I have been working this week on trying to work my way through a bunch of stuff that I have kind of laying around. I've been trying to smash through a bunch of my specials and kind of get them done and out of the way. And so I was like, let me just count how many kits that I have. And I come out and I was like, I actually feel better. I only have like 50, I think I said 56 kits, which sounds insane that I have 56, and I realize that, but that's how many I have. And of course, I justify it to myself in that, I have a YouTube channel, so I need content, which is kind of funny because, yes, they're content, but I haven't unboxed a bunch of them. Like, I saw someone destashing on Instagram the other day, and basically she was destashing a whole bunch of things that she has unboxed on her channel that she doesn't intend to diamond paint. And for me, while I have a lot of kits, I typically don't buy anything, especially from someplace expensive like Diamond Art Club or something like that, unless I intend to do them myself. Now, smaller like 30 by 40 kits, I might buy those with an eye to, I always buy them with an eye to I'm going to do them. And then after they sit around for a while, I finally decide, I can give that to someone. But like my Diamond Art Club kits and that kind of thing, most of them I have purchased with the intention of doing them myself. So I don't see myself destashing them to get rid of them. But that may change too, depending on how long they sit around or whatever. So anyway, I currently have this kit open. I have 2 Treasure Studios Arts open. I have my Paint with Diamonds open. And I have 1 Dreamer Designs open. So I want to get through all of those before I open any more. And then having said that, I actually do have 1 more that I'm going to open, and that will be a Diamond Art Club because I'm doing some testing with rulers and things. And so I need a variety of squares and rounds, and I wanted a variety of companies. So to do the testing with. So that's why I have so many open. I don't typically have that many open at once. I open them as I'm going to work on them. So I might have 1 big, Diamond Art Club or something open, and then I'll have a couple of smaller, like 30 by 40s open, but I don't generally have a whole lot of them open at once. Excuse me while I get a drink. My hot tea. It is a cold, blowing, blustery day here today, so I made myself some hot tea to keep my throat going while I'm talking. Anyway, so I've got several open, which is kind of making me crazy because I don't normally do that, but I'm telling myself that I will have extra time in the next couple of months because, of course, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and for those of us who are in America, and Christmas is coming up, and I will have time off of work to concentrate on just getting some diamond painting things done. So I did smash through quite a few of my specials, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I was able to add quite a few to my portfolio and kind of get them done and out of the way. And I am going to be hopefully getting through this and some of my other ones. I'm almost done de-kitting all of the drills from both the Art Dot and my Diana canvas. I have, I think, one more session of de-kitting of Diana, and then she will be done and put away completely. And then my Sweetie from Oraloa, I need to de-kit. And then I can jump into a couple of other bigger projects, which I have kind of been putting off until I could get those kind of putting away of drills and everything done. Because I wanted to get those drills and everything sorted, and I didn't realize what a big job that was going to be when I purchased them, which is okay. I mean, it was going to get done one way or the other, but I just didn't realize it was going to take me quite as much time as it did to get through all of those. So that part was a little frustrating. I felt like, well, I still feel like, it kind of took over my YouTube channel because that seems like it was all I was doing, but I wanted to get it done and get it out of the way, and so I can move on to other things. I've been trying to smash through the specials, like I said, both to get them out of the way and also because that lets me add to my finish count. So I think at last count, I had something like 50 projects, over 50 projects finished this year, which makes me feel pretty good because hopefully I will add to that. I still have several projects to do. They are bigger projects, so I may not get as many of them finished as I hope, but they will get done one way or the other. And then I have been trying to figure out what I want to do as kind of my big challenge project for next year. And this year, kind of my big challenge project was Diana. And I could do another Josephine wall. I do have another one, and it has 300 colors, so certainly that would be a challenge. That would be the most colors I've ever done in one kit. So I could do that one. I could challenge myself to host an event. I've been trying to come up with ideas for an event. And I would love to do like a recurring event, like you see with Drills and Chills or the Chuck-alongs and things. So I want to put some thought into, how I'm going to go about it. I think I want to do a collaboration with another YouTuber maybe, and maybe even a YouTuber who's outside the US, because then, in my mind, then that person could take care of international folks because that would be a little bit easier for prizes, and or I could take care of the US folks. I would love to get some people, businesses involved for giveaways and things like that, but that may be a little more complicated than I'm up for at the moment. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear to see how I think things are going to go. And I, on the health front, have been doing better. I went and had my MRI, and basically even after the MRI, they don't know. Really the only way for them to determine for sure what's wrong with me would be to go in and do some exploratory surgery, which I'm not really up for. So I ended up having an injection into my knee, which has helped. So now it's kind of a wait and see game. If this has helped, if the injection helps and things don't recur right away, then hopefully I didn't damage anything internally. It was just kind of a sprain/strain thing, and I'm good to go for, she said, anywhere from 6 months to 2 years with the injection. It just depends on the person. If it doesn't help, then I'm probably looking at surgery after the first of the year. So far it's been helping. So fingers crossed that that continues to be the case. I'm still not back to 100%, but I'm way better than I was, and I'm feeling better. That was a kind of an interesting experience. The injection itself wasn't bad, but she told me to take it easy that day. And I wasn't working, so we just kind of said, well, I'm not doing anything anyway. But about 3 hours after the injection, my knee hurt so bad I could cheerfully have ripped my own leg off. And I took a bunch of medicine and packed it in some ice and promptly took a nap, which seemed to have helped. It was sore for that rest of that day, but then the next day when I got up, it felt so much better. So, and it's slowly been getting better each day, so we'll see. I think that's the hard part is, now I'm like, I feel like I can't trust my own leg, like if it's going to give out on me or whatever, but I mean, there's no way to get around that either. I have things I have to do, so got to live my life, right? So, but I do feel like I have been sleeping much better. The constant kind of aching pain is gone, so that's been amazing, just to feel like I'm getting a decent night's sleep. So, in that respect, it was worth it, even if I end up, having to have surgery down the line. Um, so things are good on the health front. I seem to be doing better. My husband is recovering nicely from his surgery, and knock on wood, nobody else, including us, needs anything major after this. Um, so we started the process of doing our paperwork for Canada. We had to go get our fingerprints taken, so that was fun because only the county jail does it anymore. So we had to go to the county jail to have it done. So that was interesting. I'd never been there before, and it was a little bit intimidating, but we got it done. Got all of that filled out and sent off. So now I get to work on the rest of the paperwork while we wait for everything else to come back. It says it should only take 2 to 4 weeks, but given that we're now going into holiday season and mail is going to be kind of crazy, in addition to, people will have off for the holidays. So I don't know if we'll really get it back in 4 weeks or not, but we'll see. At least we started the process, which makes me feel better. So there's that. So that's kind of underway. And my sister has finally accepted that I will actually be moving to Canada and that she will probably need to find someone to replace me at work. So we've been discussing how that's going to go and what she wants me to do going forward. So that's one of the other things I'm hoping to do during my holiday breaks is to finish planning lessons for the rest of the year. I've already planned up through spring break. So I'm into, I think I have the last week of March and April, and then just a couple of weeks in May. So like 6 weeks of school left to plan, and then I'm done. planning for the year. And then I will likely, here in the next month or so, the school district should have their calendar for next year done and approved so that I can use it to kind of start putting together a rough plan for them for next year. Whether I'm here or not, we don't know yet. That's the thing about governments. When you apply for things like permanent residency, it's all kind of on their schedule. And when they get around to it, we've heard that it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months to 8 months to a year. So we don't really know when everything will be done and approved. I mean, of course, we have to finish filling everything out and send it in first. So it's a lot of hurry up and wait, just like it was when my husband was here, and we were applying for permanent residency for him here. So, but at least we started the process, which makes me feel better. There for a while, it felt like we were just kind of stuck in limbo and not going anywhere because we had so many other things going on. So those two major areas are kind of taken care of. And now I find that I have a little bit of time to concentrate on, more time to concentrate on the YouTube channel. Because, of course, I want to keep it growing. And so, like I said, I'm trying to figure out kind of where I want to go from here. And so I guess this is a good time to ask you guys to chime in. What kind of content would you like to see? Excuse me a minute while I take another drink. I have, like I said, been looking for a large project to do. And I considered my other Josephine wall kit, but then I'm wondering if I would prefer to do like one of my heaven and earth designs, just because I think that would be an interesting project to kind of take people along on, because, I only have the canvas for some of them, so I would need to get drills. And I have a couple of ideas for how I'd like to do that, kind of a little bit differently for each one, because I have 3 canvases, and then I also purchased 2 charts from them. And I would like to do the charts a little bit differently too. But because they're heaven and earth designs, they're pretty large. And while the Josephine wall 300 color seems intimidating, doing multiple heaven and earth also seems intimidating. But it's something I kind of want to try. I also want to try ordering a custom diamond painting. I have never done that. And I'm curious to see. I used to take a lot of digital photographs in virtual worlds, and I have lots of them that I think would make cool diamond paintings. So I'm curious to kind of take those and see how I could get them translated into a diamond painting and what they would look like. So that's a possible project. And I mean, none of these are mutually exclusive, I guess. I could do all of them, but I just don't know if I'll have time. And I do have one project that I'm going to be talking about after the first of the year, but it won't be completed in a year. In fact, it will likely take me several years to complete. So I'm going to wait until after the first of the year to talk about it. So kind of a sneak peek for you guys, that I have something that I'm going to be talking about, kind of a goal project for me. So, so I do have that, I guess. And, I don't know. I see all these people doing things like, destashing and kind of trying to cut back on their diamond painting. And it seems like several other people are not diamond painting as much as they used to. And I have to admit, I don't follow, most of the YouTubers that I follow are pretty small, because I feel like I mean, as a small YouTuber myself, I feel like small YouTubers appreciate it more and also need it more. I think I've talked about that before. If you have 30,000 YouTube followers, my follow doesn't mean that much to you. If you only have, 30 YouTube followers or 300 YouTube followers, my follow means a lot. And I like to support, smaller YouTubers because, again, people who have, thousands of YouTube followers, I'm talking double digit thousands, um, have enough going on. They're getting enough um, product reviews and things like that, and stuff being given to them that they're doing okay. They don't need my assistance. So consequently, I don't follow a bunch of the larger YouTubers, but I saw somebody commenting on Instagram today that a couple of them just don't seem to be doing as much diamond painting as they used to. And I don't know if that's because they've lost interest in it. I don't know if they're moving on to other things. I don't know if that's a seasonal thing and I'm just unaware of it because I don't follow their channels. I don't know, but I thought it was interesting. So, anyway, and so, yeah. Do you follow big YouTubers? Is there a small YouTuber that you do follow that you think is doing really good work? Because if so, share. That'd be awesome. Like I said, and YouTube is kind of funny. When I first started diamond painting, I followed, of course, the big ones, Rachel Ray and Mrs. Crochet and Coffee and those. I don't really follow them anymore. But then you'll have, kind of smaller ones. And I say smaller, the one I'm thinking of, the channel had probably 3 to 5K followers, I think. So not a small one, but not tiny. And then one day they just disappeared and stopped making videos. And so now, it's one of those, I kind of wonder in the back of my mind, did something happen to the person? Because there was no explanation given about why they're not making videos anymore. They just stopped. Did they get sick? Did they just decide, meh, I'm tired of YouTube? So, all those things you wonder because you don't know. So, ooh, and I picked up this E because I thought it was going to be small, but it's going to be this whole section right here, and I don't want to do that color yet. So I want to do the Y's and the L's and possibly the T's before I jump into the E's and the O's. So let's try that first. This is Y. I have to say, I do love how these drills are looking, though. After the last square kit that I did, I was having issues with some of the drills popping, and so that was not fun. And I had a couple of drills that were just kind of trashy. And so I got to the point where I felt like I was spending more time sorting drills than I was actually diamond painting, which is always disappointing because the fun is in putting them down, right? And seeing how nicely they all fit together. So, and these do fit in nicely, I have to say. I wasn't sure. I've heard people who really liked Staroar and liked the drills, and then I've heard people who, I don't know if they just ended up with bad batches, but they didn't like them, so I was really curious. But so far, these have been really good drills, so I'm happy with it. This has been, for me, one of the better kits that I've had for squares. So I think even compared to Diamond Art Club, just because I'm trying to think, my very first Diamond Art Club was Grandiose Grease, and it was one of the larger, it was my first Diamond Art Club, and it was one of the largest ones I had done up to that point. And I had never worked with AB drills before, so that was an experience, and just kind of, it was a very large canvas. And so I know I made a lot of mistakes on that one. But then the other two diamond art clubs that I did were Lenore and The Good Witch by Hannah Lynn. And Lenore especially, of course, had a ton of black. And those drills, just because of the way they're manufactured, tend to be trashy. And so you spend a lot of time sorting, which was not fun. And The Good Witch, I didn't realize it when I purchased it. You know, when you look at the painting, it looks like a lot of red and other colors. And once I got into it, there were, I think, 11 bags of black of 310, and not small bags, like Diamond Art Club sized bags, 11. And the drills were terrible. And in fact, they were so bad, I ended up asking them to send me some replacements, which they did. But the replacement drills were not a whole lot better. I ended up having enough to get through the painting, and I love the way the painting turned out, but it's just one of those things where you don't realize how much black is in it until you start diamond painting it. And that's one of the things that has kept me away from some Diamond Art Club paintings. Like, I really like Mika, whatever her name is, Jelina's artwork, but she is a lot like Hannah Lynn in that everything is outlined, and so there just tends to be a ton of black. And so for that reason, I haven't purchased any of hers or any more of Hannah Lynn's, even though I love some of their stuff, just because I didn't want to get stuck doing that much black. So someday, and when I did Lenore, I ended up pulling out because it was for a event. I have since decided I'm going to be a little bit more picky about events, because I found myself kind of trying to do an event every time I did a canvas, and it felt like I ended up just kind of jumping around a lot instead of doing, kind of what I needed to do. So that's something I've considered too, putting up like a poll on my Facebook page or on my Instagram and asking people what painting they think I should do next, because Lord knows I have a ton of them, and it's always so hard for me to decide. So, okay, I'm ready for L's. Where are my L's? Do this one, and then I can do some multi-placing, I think. So, and it changes. I will think, okay, I'm going to work on this one, and then I get it open, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the one I want to work on right now. So maybe I should just put it on my little decision wheel and let my decision wheel decide for me, since I can't make up my mind sometimes what I want to do. So we'll see. Oh, I missed a Y. Darn it. But I'm not going to go back and fill it in right now, because I'm going to wait until I've gotten some more of these other colors done that I'm touching for the first time before I go back and start touching other ones multiple times. So scooch those down a little. Okay, and I need 6 of those. Let's see if I can get 6 in a row to pick up with my multi-placer here. I think I shoved too much wax into this one. It keeps trying to kind of ooze its way back out. Let's see, where's 6? Is that 6? Don't need those 2. I think that's 6. Where did it go? Okay. Get those in there. Get this red one out of there. I don't know why it was in the gray. I always have to laugh when there's those little stragglers and stowaways. Like, how did they fall in there? Okay, there's not even any red in this kit, so how did a red one get in with the grays? That's kind of funny. So, anyway. So, what big projects are you guys looking at for yourselves for the next year? Do you have big projects planned for next year for diamond painting? Or do you just kind of diamond paint whatever you feel like, whatever strikes your fancy at the time? Do you have a certain artist that you really like? Certain company that you really like? I think I have a lot of Diamond Art Club. I have several Dreamer designs. But other than that, I have a bunch of kind of one-offs from shops that I wanted to try. It's like I have a Distracted by Diamonds because I've never done one of theirs before. I have a couple of DIY Moon Shop. Of course, the Treasure Studios art that I haven't, a couple of them are open, but I haven't actually started diamond painting them yet. I wanted to get this tree finished just because it's a smaller painting and also because it's winter themed, and you know, maybe I'll have time to get it framed and hang it up and look at it for a little bit before I move on to the next project. So most of my stuff tends to go in my portfolios. I have two that I've actually framed and hung up for me. And that's my Kandinsky and Diana, of course. I have a couple of other ones that I've framed. Well, my daughter has 3 that I've done. 2 specifically I did for her and 1 she claimed. And I've done 3 or 4 other ones for my sister that she ended up claiming after I completed them. But so I just don't have a lot of my own framed. Okay, I need A. I think this is going to be my last color, because then I need to wrap this up because I have some errands and things I have to run today. And trying to fit everything in to the amount of hours I have in a day is sometimes challenging. So I did a lot of diamond painting yesterday though, and I got a lot accomplished, so that's good. But it's never enough, right? I always want to diamond paint more. Okay, did I get all of the A's done in there? A couple of these are a little bit crooked, but hopefully those will straighten out once I add in all of the ones that I'm going to be multi-placing. So, okay, so I think I'm down to everything that needs to be multi-placed. So I'm going to call that good there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this slightly abbreviated whip and chat. I know this isn't going to be as long as my normal ones, but you know, life happens. So I'm going to call that good there. I did make a little bit of progress, even if I didn't make as much as I wanted. And so, yeah, hopefully by the next time you see this project for another whip and chat, I will be a little further along. So, as always, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to do all the things on your way out. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That helps me out immensely. And hit that bell notification icon so that you don't miss any future whip and chats. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.